I watched a Minecraft movie 5 times in a row to truly understand its cinematic genius. Yes, you heard that title right, I'm doing it again. Last year, I watched a grand total of 6 films 5 or more times in the theater. Those films were Dune Part 2, Madam Web, Deadpool and Wolverine, Kraven the Hunter, Wicked, and Anora. You might have noticed that 2 of those films are not like the others. With Dune Part 2, I wanted to see that film in as many different formats as possible to experience as much of the movie as I could. With Deadpool and Wicked, more and more people wanted to go see the movie with me, so I just got to experience the film more and more times with more and more people. Anora was just a damn good movie, and I just kept seeing it on my own, first 2 and 5th time being with other people. But Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter? I honestly thought it'd be really funny to be the only person in the world to be able to say, I watched Madam Web for 5 days in a row. I actually worked on quite a lengthy video for Madam Web last year, but ultimately had to scrap it because of how massive the video was. Kraven could have been a video, but I was just too busy at the time, so I decided I'm going to make this an annual or semi-annual thing where I find the absolute dumbest possible movie and just watch it 5 days in a row. And this year, that movie is a Minecraft movie. Chicken jockey! So what did I think? Well, let's just get right into it, shall we? Right off the bat, before I even begin, I just need to say I had a much better time doing the challenge this time than with Madam Web and Kraven. By the end of the week for those films, I was filled with nothing but frustration and dread. Going to the movies had become a chore, and especially on the 5th go-around for each of them, it became a literal endurance test to stay in my seat.
I just got back from seeing Madam Web for the 5th time. That was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Madam Web and Kraven were absolutely horrible, and I absolutely refuse to ever watch either of them again.
Brian, what did you think? What did you think? What did you think of the movie?
No, you're not getting the original reaction. Dude, I told you, it was horse shit. It was f***ing dog shit. There's no way a movie can be that f***ing bad in dialogue, in visuals, and overall characters. I mean, what the f*** was that even? That ending was absolute f***ing bullshit. There was no f***ing way that they showed just 3 scenes of people in their f***ing costumes. And the costumes are, the costumes were also literally, you go to the end and you search a Madam Web costume, dude, that could have gotten on Wish. You can get that on Wish. Wish.com/MadamWeb. Sponsored.
Based on the trailers for a Minecraft movie alone, though, I knew I would have a far better time with this challenge than the last 2. I honestly thought this movie would be a steaming pile of hot garbage that would only be good for the memes. But honestly, after my first go-around, I really enjoyed myself. But I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself, so let's just start at the beginning. Upon my first viewing, I saw the film with my buddy Levi. We dressed up in suits, Minecraft glasses, and brought Minecraft Happy Meals from McDonald's with us. When we walked into that theater for the 4 p.m. showing, we were absolutely ready. But little did we know how much unironic fun we were going to have. Within the first 5 minutes, I was absolutely blindsided with how laugh-out-loud hilarious the movie was. Jack Black was an absolute riot to see mess around in this impressive CGI Minecraft world, and his antics in the opening chunk of the movie had me laughing way louder than anyone else in the theater. The movie opens with the Minecraft Java Edition loading screen and some epic voiceover from Steve himself, Jack Black. We get the classic lines such as,
"Yearned for the mines, flint and steel, the nether."
Then we see Jack Black build really creative stuff in a way that feels really genuine and true to the game. And we get our first taste as to what the story is. The intro is honestly one of the best parts of the whole movie. It establishes the world, sets the tone and style of humor, and sets up the story in a short, brisk 5 or so minutes. Right off the bat, the movie tells you what it is, and that has to be one of my favorite things about it. This whole movie is extremely self-aware of how silly it is, and the way it just runs with that in the first 2 acts is one of the best parts of the film. Even from the opening seconds, the movie understands the assignment and delivers. From the classic loading screen with the OG music to the beautiful orchestral rendition of said classic theme, it's clear the people who made this movie love Minecraft, and it honestly makes me really happy to see a studio movie like this have people who actually care about the property behind the camera. After the movie, Levi and I discussed our thoughts, the both of us being extremely pleasantly surprised with how funny and stupid the film was. We were quoting our favorite parts, making predictions for the sequel, and honestly, it just made for a really good time with my friend.
So I just got out of watching the absolute most cinematic cinema movie of all time, most peak movie ever, a Minecraft movie. I went in with the most highest of expectations, and you know what? It was better than I ever could have expected. It's a 6 out of 5. Real talk though, it's solid. I had a lot of fun with it. I laughed way more than I should have, and a lot of the jokes did have that Napoleon Dynamite energy that Jared Hess brought.
Surprisingly enough, I gave the movie a legitimate 100% unironic 3.5 out of 5, citing the film as highly entertaining, faithful to the game, and ridiculously funny despite its deeply generic plot and many flaws. Unlike after watching Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter for the first time, I was legitimately really excited to watch this movie again and again. I couldn't wait to hear the reactions from the audience and other friends. It was a new day, and I had it fully stacked with plans. I was working most of the day, then went straight to my first real D&D session ever with my friends, and ended the night with watching a Minecraft movie for the second time. This time I actually saw it in 3D with my friend and coworker Allie at the 10:30 p.m. showing. We put our 3D glasses on, and after the logos finished, we were transported into another level of consciousness as peak washed over our eyes. After the title reveal, the movie spent some time establishing our human characters. Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, played wonderfully by Jason Momoa, might I add, is a washed-up video game champion from 1989. Natalie is a young adult who is looking after her brother Henry after their mom passed away. And Dawn is the realtor who sold Natalie their new home in Chugless, Idaho, I guess. Each of these characters is given an anecdote to introduce them. Garrett is broke, Henry builds a jetpack that blows up the town mascot, Chuggy the Chip, Dawn has a side hustle with llamas, and Natalie has a boring corporate job at the potato chip factory. The section goes on a little bit too long, but there's still plenty of funny moments involving Jason Momoa, and there's also a really cool montage scene where Henry is making the jetpack that feels like it was ripped straight out of Napoleon Dynamite. We're also introduced to Vice Principal Marlene, played beautifully by Jennifer Coolidge. She is the recently divorced Vice Principal of Henry's school. And there's this interaction between her and Jason Momoa that just kills me every time. But finally, the gang gets their hands on the magical cube that unlocks the Minecraft portal, and they're all transported to the overworld. Now this is where the movie really starts to pick up. We get this gorgeous sweeping landscape of the Minecraft overworld paired beautifully with the orchestral rendition of the classic Minecraft theme by C418. And then we're immediately thrown back into the screwball comedy, most of it landing, some of it not. But even in the more cringeworthy moments of humor, Jason Momoa just has this hilarious energy about him that makes literally everything he does seem like it's the funniest joke in the world.
That thing doesn't understand a word you're saying.
We're talking.
The gang looks around in awe, but soon enough it turns night, and suddenly they're overwhelmed with monsters. This is honestly one of the coolest parts of the movie, solely because the visuals and the designs of the monsters are all incredible, especially the spiders. There's this one shot specifically where a spider jockey jumps in front of a flaming arrow that just made my jaw drop to the floor every time I saw it. Unfortunately, it's the only shot like that in the whole movie, but still, it looks outstanding. Almost too good for the f***ing Minecraft movie, actually. But once it seems like the gang is about to succumb to the monsters and perish, Steve rolls in and saves the day! This Steve entrance is honestly really well done, balancing the self-aware, goofy nature of the film with pure awesomeness really well. And of course, the amazing line,
I'm Steve.
got the whole theater cheering every time I saw this movie. Side note, during the fight with the monsters, Garrett broke part of the orb that allows them to go home, so a big plot point is they need to go to the Woodland Mansion to fix it or whatever. And while we're getting boring plot beats out of the way, I feel like it's pretty important to mention there's a piglin army who wants the orb to take over the overworld, and the army is led by the evil queen, Piglin Malgosha. Oh, and also Steve has a dog named Dennis, and they're like best friends and stuff, so Steve gave Dennis the orb to take back into the real world and hide it, and that's how the gang all got the orb in the first place. I don't know, it's really not that important, but it is worth mentioning. After the second viewing, I felt like my score of 3.5 out of 5 was absolutely locked in. I still found a lot to love, but still had some issues here and there, which we'll get to.
Alright, so I just got out of watching a Minecraft movie for the second time. I went and saw it with this doofus over here.
It's my first time seeing it.
Yeah, again, it's a really cheesy and stupid kids movie, but it's also like really fun and just like really entertaining.
But Allie, on the other hand, absolutely loved it, giving the movie a staggeringly high score.
Allie, what did you think of the movie?
I thought the movie was a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, what'd you like about it?
I really enjoyed Jack Black doing his thing, and I love the improv.
Oh yeah, improv was great.
Despite getting everything I've needed out of this movie on my second viewing, I was still really optimistic about the other 3 viewings. While I didn't really need to watch it more, I was excited to find new things about the movie I loved, and watching a good movie this many times in a row was a nice change of pace for this challenge, if we're being honest. So as you might have been able to tell by this point, my time is not valuable. It takes a lot for me to feel like I wasted my time, with some examples of that being the terrible Snow White remake, or that time I spent 3.5 hours playing a 10-disc round of Tower of Hanoi, and gave up on disc 9 at 2:30 a.m. when I had to work at 5 the next day. I bring this up because I was worried that I'd be wasting my time going into this day. There were other movies I wanted to watch, like Hell of a Summer, the newest neon horror comedy starring Finn Wolfhard, or The Friend, a Bill Murray movie about a dog. But I was choosing to go and watch a Minecraft movie for the 3rd time after work that day. Sure, I was still enjoying myself, but I was starting to wonder if seeing it this many times would start to wear on me and my enjoyment of the film. So that's why I took notes during today's viewing. I decided I'd keep a list of every single thing I legitimately loved about the movie, and I was surprised to find out I had over 30 unironic compliments for this film. I ended up seeing it by myself this time, as well as the subsequent 2 times, but I had a plan and was confident it all worked out. After Steve rescues everyone, he takes them to the little village nearby Steve has claimed as his home. It's here we get the beautiful Technoblade tribute, as well as one of the best parts of the whole film, Steve's lava chicken. This entire village scene is one of the best uses of practical sets in the whole film, with the set really feeling like it's able to bring this amazing world we grew up with to life, and it's honestly really impressive. Then we get the classic ender pearl and crafting scene, and then somehow Henry crafts a tater tot launcher using junk from the real world and mixing it with iron. At first I rolled my eyes at this, but I actually have grown quite fond of the creativity here from Jared Hess. Plus we get my favorite line from Jason Momoa in the whole movie. Hey Hank, can I play with your tot launcher when you're done? Sweet. But uh-oh, the piglins are attacking the village. Oh no! It's at this point the characters split into 2 groups, Natalie and Dawn, who have been doing f*** all this whole time, and then Steve, Henry, and Garrett. This battle sequence in the village is honestly really, really good. The action all looks great, and there's plenty of visual and physical gags that make me laugh way harder than any other 19-year-old should laugh. Anywho, Natalie and Dawn just kind of disappear until the 3rd act of the movie, so I'm not even going to talk about them until then. There's also a piglin named General Chungus, and he's voiced by the director of the movie, and he's by far the most cringe, stupid character in the whole film. And honestly, it's so bad and ridiculous that it circles back around to being hilarious. So take that as you will, I guess. This battle scene all culminates in a personal favorite sequence of mine, the Elytra scene. This is honestly where objectively, the movie is at its absolute stupidest and worst. The green screen for the flying sequences is really bad, with some moments looking genuinely fake for a movie of this profile. But it's also at this point where my brain just turned off and I just enjoyed how stupid and fun everything happening was. A couple things I really legitimately loved about this scene were the visuals of the gas flying through the canyon carrying these piglins, and also this part of the start of the scene where a piglin is banging the drum to the exact beat of the song that's playing in the background. And that just tickles my need for synchronicity in movies, so yeah, that makes my autistic ass very happy. There's also this part at the end of the scene where Jack Black and Jason Momoa have to 69 while flying in order to fit in a tiny hole in the canyon wall. And honestly, that's enough right there to make any man happy. Technically, they call it a full man sandwich, but look at them, they're literally just 69ing. It's not even funny. Then there's the classic water bucket release! And it's time for another fantastic sequence, the mines. Steve, Garrett, and Henry pull up to the mine so Garrett can get diamonds for the real world, and this scene is honestly just here for entertainment. It doesn't add anything to the plot, but I just think how entertaining it is speaks volumes for how much fun this movie actually is. Basically, they go looking for diamonds, they find the diamonds, but uh-oh, the piglins are coming again. And then they race on out of the mines in some classic old-school minecarts just seconds before a huge creeper farm blows up the entire mountain. After round 3, I was feeling strong. This was my first time watching the film by myself, and it really helped me collect my overall thoughts on the movie more. I'm finding more and more things to like, and I'm noticing more and more details that I never would have caught before. While the movie has certainly lost its initial magic at this point, I'm still having a good time and low-key still excited to finish the marathon.
Just finished a Minecraft movie for the 3rd time, and the thing that I really appreciated this time around was the design of all the mobs in Minecraft. I thought that the spiders especially looked the best, but the chickens, the zombies, the creepers, I thought they all looked fantastic. The really generic nature of the story is really starting to get on my nerves, though, alongside a couple really cheesy bits that don't even feel fun bad, just feel dumb. But I'm still really enjoying myself, and this is still a really solid kids movie.
Today was a pretty uneventful day. Work was whatever, and I would be seeing the film by myself again, which wasn't too terribly exciting, but it was whatever. After working an 11-hour day, I got some sleep and caught the 10:30 p.m. showing of a Minecraft movie that night. However, as soon as I walked in, I knew this viewing would be different, as there were multiple groups of teenagers in the theater with me, and suddenly I couldn't wait to watch the movie again and hear all these amazing reactions I've been seeing online in person. The movie started, and the peak took hold of me like a wolf and wouldn't let go until it was done. Now is probably as good a time as any to talk about my absolute favorite part of the movie, Jennifer Coolidge. Shortly after the humans enter the overworld, a villager wanders into the real world and is immediately hit by a car. And whose car is it other than the wonderful, the spectacular, the mesmerizing, the amazing Jennifer Coolidge? It's here she delivers my favorite product placement in any movie ever by saying, "Oh my god, you're not gonna sue me, are you? Because everyone wants to sue me after I hit them with my Jeep Grand Cherokee." Jennifer Coolidge proceeds to take the villager to dinner, and over the course of the film, it keeps cutting back to them as we watch these two lovebirds fall for each other. Every time I saw this film, these scenes always made the theater erupt in laughter. And rightfully so. Jennifer Coolidge brings this absurdly stupid energy to these scenes, and honestly, I feel like if her character was played by literally anyone else, these scenes wouldn't even be 100th as good as they are. These sequences are pretty short, and there's only 3 or 4 of them in the movie, but they make for such hilarious moments that it more than makes up for her lack of screen time. Now back to the boring regular people. The gang rolls into the Woodland Mansion to get the part to fix the orb thingy so they can get out of here, and it is here we get the single greatest cinematic moment of all time. While Henry's going to fix the orb, Steve and Garrett are captured and forced to fight the fiercest, the most brutal, the most feared warrior in all of fiction.
Chicken jockey, yeah!
It's around this point the movie stops being legitimately fun on its own and the memes take over, because if wasn't so incredible, there's really nothing to this scene, and it only serves as a random conflict to stop the characters from ending the movie too soon. Oh, and also Henry fights an Enderman and hallucinates Herobrine, so take that as you will. I will not explain further. Anywho, Steve does Luigi's side special from Smash Bros. They defeat escape, and uh-oh, Malgosha is waiting for them outside the mansion. Whatever are they going to do? Garrett proceeds to sacrifice himself for the gang to escape, but amidst the escape, Malgosha steals the orb, and now she begins her plan to take over the world. Wah-har. I'm gonna be so honest, everything from here until the last 10 minutes is extremely generic and forgettable, except for the part where they're preparing for the final battle, and Steve says,
First we mine, then we craft.
Oh.
Watch my craft.
Yeah!
Absolute peak fiction, peak cinema, peak everything. Anywho, they fight the Piglin army, get their asses kicked, but whoops, just kidding, Jason Momoa is still alive. I know, who could have guessed. And he saves the day alongside a golem of swiftness, which isn't in the game, but whatever, I guess. And thus, the heroes have won! The world is now saved, and Malgosha is vanquished. Pretty generic stuff here in the third act. There's even a sky beam there, like in every fantasy movie, but it does at least end on a high note with this really funny bit where Malgosha keeps trying to stab Steve with a knife, but he just predicts it every time, and honestly, as the scene goes on, you'd think it'd get dull, but no, it just keeps getting funnier. Then the gang goes back to the real world, Steve sings a beautiful ode to his dog Dennis, and then they leave. But plot twist, Steve goes with them and they all live happily ever after. Garrett isn't broke, Henry is cool now, Natalie has a real job teaching self-defense, a la Napoleon Dynamite if you know what I mean. And Dawn is... Honestly, I saw this movie 5 times and I still couldn't tell you what Dawn does at all in this movie. I mean, she tames a bunch of dogs for the final battle and has this moment where like 30 dogs attack a piglin giant, but then they don't really do anything except for distract it. But yeah, Dawn just sucks. Then the movie ends with a giant dance party to I Feel Alive, a song literally made by Jack Black for this movie, and it is actually a pretty good song. Oh, and then there's a couple post-credit scenes. The first post-credit scene is where Jennifer Coolidge is with her new villager boyfriend, and then her ex-husband storms in, and the villager just fucking talks, and it's Matt Berry's voice, and then he just proposes to Jennifer Coolidge after only 1 day. Jennifer Coolidge starts speaking villager, and honestly, this scene is far and away the funniest part of the whole movie. The first time I saw it, when she started making villager noises, I literally started crying of laughter and even ended up on the floor. It was so funny. Oh, and Steve goes back to his old house, and the lady living there is this redheaded lady named Alex, voiced by Kate McKinnon. So yeah, overall pretty hype post-credit scenes, despite me not really enjoying the third act all that much. Now, it's at this point I feel like I've gotten everything out of the Minecraft movie that I can. I've gotten the audience reactions, I've taken notes, and honestly, I feel like the fun has just run its course for me at this point. But I've got one more day, which means only one more viewing. And said viewing was gonna be with my buddy Isaiah in IMAX, so hopefully that experience will be different enough for me to still have a good time. You know, today was actually a really, really good day. I didn't work, so I spent my whole morning playing some video games I've been meaning to put some time into. I played some Rocket League, Death Stranding, and began a new playthrough of The Last of Us Part 2 on grounded difficulty. Then Isaiah pulled up and we played Mario Kart for half an hour before heading out to our first movie of the day, which actually wasn't Minecraft. Isaiah and I are really into Jason Statham action movies, and luckily for us, a new one just came out called A Working Man. So we went down to the theater, had a wonderful time, and then Isaiah said to me after the movie, hey, I don't really want to watch the Minecraft movie. I'm really sorry, man. And then I thought about it, and I responded by saying, you know what? I don't really want to watch the Minecraft movie either. I knew there was a chance you only had enough energy for one movie, and even though I've already seen A Working Man, I know that's the movie you cared more about. So, knowing full well we might only see one movie today, I made the choice to watch A Working Man first for you, Isaiah. Screw this challenge. I don't want going to the theater to be a responsibility. I want to watch movies that I want to watch, not the same movie over and over again for a stupid challenge. I looked at my Regal app to see if another movie was playing that I cared about, and I noticed the Regal Mystery movie was tonight. And after a quick Google search, it turns out the movie was Drop, the newest thriller from the director of Happy Death Day and Freaky. So you know what? Minecraft be damned. I'm gonna watch a movie I care about, a movie I want to see, not the same funny, memorable slop I've been watching on repeat. A real, actual movie with an interesting concept and high stakes, not a meme showcase that's admittedly really entertaining, but is left feeling a bit empty once you take away all the jokes and memes. And so, that's what I did. I went and I watched Drop, and I ran into some other friends at the movie who I haven't seen in a while. So not only did I watch a movie I was actually excited for, I got to spend it with some people I actually cared about. And you know what? I had a great time. Drop is a really solid thriller that plays out in real time with extremely high stakes and really solid directing. It follows a woman on a first date who starts getting airdrops on her phone, instructing her to kill her date or else her son dies. Kinda like a much better version of last year's Carry On with a rom-com twist, but regardless, it was fun, it was entertaining, and extremely thrilling. The plot ended up being a little predictable, but said predictable plot was really well executed, and honestly, I just think this made for an extremely good and solid thriller. It's like a solid 4 out of 5, bordering on a 4.5. And as I walked out of that theater towards the door, I felt alive. Like I rediscovered what makes me go to the movies so frequently, and that is finding hidden gems like Drop and seeing real art that talented, passionate people create, not corporate products designed to make $1 billion. Today, a working man in Drop reminded me as to why I love the theater so much, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. But then I went and saw the 9:30 showing of a Minecraft movie. Anyways, Chicken Jockey for life!
Yeah! I'm Steve. Yeah! Release! Woo! Chicken Jockey, yeah! Woo! Whoa! Yes, Garrett! Yeah! Woo!
So, we just got out of watching a Minecraft movie. It's my 5th time watching it. I absolutely loved it. What'd you guys think?
It was pretty good. It
Yeah?
was life-changing. It really hit me hard.
You know, yeah. Yeah, it's totally life-changing, man.
This movie changed my life for forever.
You know, I
Okay.
honestly thought this movie was just really uniting, you know?
Wow.
The fact that we're able to all come around this
Yes.
movie,
Up and around, yeah.
it's just,
Woo!
chicken jacket! What else can you say?
Honestly, life-changing. I don't think I'd be the person I am today without it.
Changed my life. I don't want to one better person. I was a terrible person, but now
You're a different.
I'm
Yeah?
like, yeah, understand this? I would kill this people for now.
Probably the chicken jockey.
Oh, yeah, Chicken Jockey.
Wow.
What about you? What's your favorite part?
I'm gonna have to go the part where he said, "I am Steve." It was just
Oh, bro, that just like touched me in my soul. It gave me a different person.
I feel like we all are Steve, and like when he said I am Steve, he's really holding his identity.
He's like saying we are Steve, like in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's really the body of everybody who watches this movie is Steve.
Yes, exactly, exactly. You know, there's no need for any other movie to ever be made. Like, did The Godfather have the chicken jockey? No,
Yes.
No, it did not. No, this is the single greatest movie of all time. Okay, out of 10, out of 10.
Out of 10, you know, I honestly think this just broke my
Chicken
scale.
jockey.
Chicken jockey, okay.
It's honestly a 12.
12 out of 10. 12 out of 10.
Wow.
Alright, what do you give it out of 10?
probably like.
I don't even think we can rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. It's just disrespectful.
You know what, you're
Disrespectful
right.
art.
1 to 10 billion.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'd give it like a chicken jockey.
A chicken jockey.
Okay.
Alright, I'm Reggie. This has been a hell of a show.
Am I glad I watched a Minecraft movie 5 times? Yeah, I actually am. Each time I saw the movie, it was an entirely different experience. The first time was just dumb fun, the second was in 3D, the third time I watched it analytically, taking notes on everything I love, the fourth time was a turn your brain off fiesta with all the other rowdy people in the theater, and the last time was a complete riot. Basically about 10 times more rowdy than the fourth time, as you just saw. But my favorite part of these marathons, and the reason I keep doing them, is it always elevates the very next film I see when I'm done. I'm reminded by how good movies can be, how much a real film with a true vision is able to invoke deep emotions from me, instead of just cheap gags and dumb memes. I'm not saying I don't like a Minecraft movie, in fact, I quite enjoyed it. It's a silly, goofy comedy with great line delivery and a really fun, self-aware tone. It's not actually high cinema or even all that good of a movie, but it's a really fun one. Even after the many rewatches and my problems with the generic story, I still give the movie an unironic 3.5 out of 5. It's honestly just a fun time to watch with friends. Nothing more and nothing less, and that's okay. But is it worth watching 5 times? Oh, no, just watch it once, it's great.